your identity, your self-image is very powerful. To progress, the fastest way to do so is to start believing that you are whatever it is you want to become, the life that you desire. You have to start believing that it's already true, and you'll only progress faster. Essentially, fake it till you make it to a certain extent. And a good example of this is when you're working out. We all started working out at some point. We don't feel that big. We feel as if we're not this guy that works out consistently. We feel like we're just this person just starting to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And there's a couple times in my life where it's like I would go to the gym for maybe a week or so, maybe two. But my dad, he's older, and all that.
Seriously busy.
And he has other stuff going on, and it was really easy to just convince him to not go. And I was young, and I didn't realize, I kind of regret that I didn't start working out then. But at the same time, my heart just wasn't in it. I was a young kid, like every young kid, fat, playing video games all the time. I did baseball, but that was really the only thing. In like a year of basketball, that was the only stuff that I did was all that, productive in those times. But, then I started going to the gym and I believed that I could do it and I stayed consistent with it. And then as I put on muscle, eventually you start to get compliments from people. And then you realize you really are this jack. You become this jack person in your mind because, you realize that you are, because people are giving you these compliments and saying you're big. Because you are a lot bigger than the average person. And you just got to believe that you're already this identity, and it helps so much, for your progression, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
And a good way to help people, from what I've heard, just talking to people, having conversations with them, saying you're working really hard, especially if they're people you suspect to be beginners, that will motivate them so much more to keep going. Don't comment on saying, oh, you lost a lot of weight or anything that's genetic, because if you already have it, first off, it's genetic, it's a good thing, you already have it, and you're not going to really appreciate it because you already have it, so you're not really going to work. But if and if you've lost fat, you're gonna believe that you already did it, and you'll be way less motivated to get it done, and finish it. Because in your mind, you believe you accomplished the goal, which you didn't, because you made progress, but it's not complete. And yeah, like back to what I was saying, if you compliment people on that stuff, it really does go a long way. I mean, I'd imagine if you do that to women too, it would probably help out a lot too. Because it's like, for one, women don't really get approached anymore. You'd think with social media that they do, they just don't.
Just like people are trying to get their snap. It's just like trying just think going around with friends and stuff. It's like that's not the best way to go. It's like, dude, that's like.
Well, that's not my point. Like.
Yeah.
What I mean is, like, people just don't even make the effort to approach someone in person. If they do, they're just like, "Oh, can I get your snap?" And it's insanely
but like people aren't trying to get out of their comfort. Like they just want to stay in the comfort zone. They're not trying to escape.
Like you got to do that. You're not gonna be labeled a creep or nothing for approaching someone. It's like if you are, it's like they can't just put you in prison for trying to talk to them. Like you're fine. And the chance of that actually happening is so low. Just talk to people. That's the one thing. And it's also such a genuine compliment. It's like, when's the last time you saw a guy come up to a girl and compliment her like that? Just think about that. And be like, oh, you gotta be really attractive. But I don't know if that's always the case, because it's like, people say all this stuff, but it's like these guys that believe that they can get the girl, they believe they've already gotten the girl. I've seen dudes that are average, no taller than I am, and I'm like probably 5'6" or something, maybe 5'7". Not particularly tall. And I don't know if you consider me what my looks are. I don't really think much of it. But you know, I've seen dudes. I mean, this dude that was a complete meth head, I knew. Well, not meth head, weed. Yeah, wrong term. Though he looks like a meth head, I will say. And he's no more attractive than average, and he pulled so many women, like it's crazy. And he's probably doing something of the sort. The dude just doesn't care. He goes and talks to women. He has confidence, and he believes he can get them. I mean, yeah. Your identity is where it all starts, man. And then you work, and you manifest into existence not by the law of attraction. It's the law of action by putting the work in.
Yeah. And things just don't come to you. Things just don't. You go after it. You make it happen. You can't just sit there and let things come to you like a fucking bird. No, that's not how life works. Mm-hmm. If you're watching this right now, you think like, oh, I'm gonna get some money. You know, you're watching like this, videos on how to get money. Like things are just like gonna like happen. Like you gotta work to get that shit done. Like to actually have stuff like in your life, for your like identity be beneficial. You gotta get after it.
And you gotta believe you can do it.
Yeah. The self-motivation that comes from within. So believe that you can actually do it, and like you make it happen. And the more you do it, you get better at it. I mean, and the more you do it, it's like it's beneficial.
It becomes that reality at some point.
It becomes reality. Yeah.
And with that being said, we'll all make it, brothers.